You the melody, the words, you the chorus. You gladly laid your life down for us. For all the blessings that you bring, Lord of lords and King of kings, we will let our voices ring. You're the only song we ever want to sing. You're the only song I ever want to sing. You're the only song I ever want to sing. You're the only song, the only song. You're the only song I ever want to sing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the December edition of Christian Music Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us here from the historic Elsinore Theatre in Salem, Oregon for this very special edition. I'm honored to welcome my guest at this time for his first appearance on our show. He started out wanting to play the piano since he was the age of 4 and went on to write some of your favorite commercial jingles for some stores and products that you may know, especially here in the Northwest. And going on to crossover success, having collaborated with such names like Michael W. Smith, Rush of Fools, and of course the big hit Valentine with the likes of Martina McBride. I'm thrilled and honored to welcome at this time, along with Luke McMaster, Jim Brickman. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to meet you. Thank you so much for taking the time, guys, to appear on our show. And
Thanks for having us.
For our audience today. Now, for those of viewers out there who may have heard of the upcoming single and are familiar with your music, you did this with one of your other songs. And so for this song, you released both a regular version of the song and a Christmas version of the song, Good Morning Beautiful. Kind of tell where the song came from and how y'all kind of teamed up for that particular song.
You want to tell the story, Luke?
Well, I have been a Jim Brickman fan for most of my life, and really.
Wait a second.
Oh well, no.
How is that possible? Okay.
But yeah, I'm a big Jim Brickman fan, and I wanted to collaborate with him, and we had a mutual friend that did me the service of hooking me up with Jim, and we kind of got to know each other for a while, but it kind of got to the point where we hadn't met in person. We felt like we were becoming friends, so he said, "Luke, you got to come to one of my shows." Drove down to I think it was Erie, Pennsylvania, and he had his people bring me backstage, and I was sitting back there and in the green room, and he walked in and he's like, "Okay, let's write a song." Like one of the first things he said to me when I finally met him. So
Well, as opposed to just going out for lunch, let's write a song, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I had this idea for the title, Good Morning Beautiful. A lot of times when I write a song, I have a concept in mind. So a song like Simple Things or Love of My Life or Valentine were all song titles before they were songs. It's just kind of the way that I think. And so we talked about the title and what that would mean. You know, for me, it was a chance to say that every day is a new opportunity to make it a great day. Even if you're having a bad day, the next day you get another chance to do it all over again. And Luke came at it kind of from a different point of view because he oversleeps every day.
And I'm married to a school teacher. So her alarm goes off every morning at 6 a.m., right? So, and we were chatting about it, and I was like loving this idea that Jim had, and I said, well, why don't we start out saying, you know, typically mornings aren't or weren't my favorite time of day, but someone or something amazing in your life all of a sudden turns a negative into a positive, and mornings can become a fantastic time of day. And now I get up with my wife. I've become much better at getting up earlier. We have our coffee. We talk about the day. We talk about problems. We talk about this and that, and it's great. So.
And then when we did the song Good Morning Beautiful, I said, you know, this is, you know, saying to a loved one who's nearby, no matter who they are, you know, you're beautiful, is a great message. And so we thought, you know, why not just adapt it and say, you know, for Christmas, hey, you know, not just Good Morning Beautiful, but Merry Christmas Beautiful. And it could be anything. It could be Happy Birthday Beautiful. It's just an endearment. It's a way of sharing an endearment with somebody who's close to you.
Now, of course, speaking of holidays, I'd be remiss, since they're airing in December, this brand new, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about your holiday tour. It's become an annual tradition for years now, where you team up with lots of different artists, such as yourself and such as Ann Cochran and some of your other friends that join you on this tour. What's kind of your favorite part every year that you get to do about this holiday tour?
Well, it has become a tradition, but there's such a familial quality about the group of us. A handful of us, of course, have been doing it together for a very long time, but having people like Luke Luke along that really bring new kind of energy to the show, and to the audience, you know, so that every year it's something. It's the core of it is really consistent, but there's always nuances and new things that are added that make it very, you know, spirited and happy. And we just want to celebrate. We want family and friends to come. We want people to gather, and we want communities to come together through the music. And that's what we feel like we share with the audience live.
Now, of course, you started out kind of getting your start in the business writing commercial jingles. As a matter of fact, one of them that we know, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, where our target base is still playing to this day, and it's been on for years and years.
Yeah.
You did, believe it or correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
the jingle to Fred Meyer.
I did.
What's on
wow,
your
you did,
list
You
today?
did your homework, or you've seen me in concert before. One
In
or the
fact,
other.
I heard a portion of that jingle on one of their ads today, as a matter of fact. Wow. So it's still playing. And so what was kind of the thrill and the challenge of writing jingles for these different brands and these different companies, and much less, like one still is, hearing them on the air even to this day, ones that were written years ago?
You know, it's songwriting. It's whether it's a love song or it's a song for Fred Meyer, or it's a kitty litter or a toilet bowl cleaner or whatever it is. It is really a getting a chance to basically songwrite. And prior to my recording career, I did a lot of commercials, but it was at the core, it's really just songwriting. It's just, you know, it's about different things. It's about love and a love song. It's about a store and a Fred Meyer song, you know. But it's really at the core songwriting.
Now, of course, you had a chance to team up with not only on the Christian genre side of things, you had a chance to team up with Rush of Fools to do a song, and you had a chance to team up with, of course, a legend in that particular genre, Michael W. Smith, on a couple of occasions. What was it like working with Michael W. Smith and collaborating on what became one of your bigger songs, Love of My Life?
Well, one of the things that I loved about working with Michael is that he rarely sings other people's songs, you know, as a guest. Most of the time he either writes or kind of produces his own stuff. And so what I like about him, and the reason that I wanted him to do the song, was that his style is a very kind of a authentic style. Like when he sings, it sounds like he's singing to his best friend or to a loved one or something like that. It's very it's not put on, and it's not oversung. It's just like he has a very regular guy type of voice, and I love that for that song, because it's more relatable if the song is sung by somebody who is just saying, almost like it's a poem to somebody you're in love with, which is a very intimate thing. So you don't want it to be a huge, big performance. You want it to be authentic, and that's what I like about the way he sang the song.
Now, of course, you released two different, Christian albums, one of which, of course, or both, was available at Family Christian stores and nationwide there for a while. And among those, you did a, take on classic hymns and stuff like that, did piano renditions and your contemporary style on some of the old favorites. What role, kind of, would you say that kind of the role of faith has played in not only some of your more recent albums, but just kind of some of the overall success that you've had to this point?
Well, I think inspiration is non-sectarian. It's something that everybody connects with, and it really is. To me, it's about that. It's about personal faith. It's about the music and its connection to the way you feel about your faith. And there's nothing like connecting with a song that you grew up listening to in church, or that is a familiar hymn, and hearing it in a new way, which is the way I like to deliver a lot of the hymns, and at Christmas time, the Christmas carols, many of which are hymns as well. But I think that there's just something really emotional about them, and I think it celebrates inspiration, and has promise and hope and all the things that I always want my music to bring.
And of course, lately, of course, you have a brand new single, of course, and about your music. Now, of course, we've had. What type of advice would you give to piano players who are looking to make an impact on the music scene, or looking to basically deliver inspirational music? What would you advise people who are getting their start out there?
Well, it's funny. We talk about this all the time. In fact, on our tour, have you ever heard the term busking? Ever? I don't know if you have or not, but it's basically
It's not a Canadian thing, is it?
maybe it is. It's when you play on a street corner where you just stop somewhere.
Yeah, open your guitar case, or maybe you have a monkey and an accordion and a tin can. So it's something that I back in the day used to do busking. I was a wedding singer for a while, and busking was. I thought it was fantastic because it was such a kind of real. The music at its basics, like when you're a traveling minstrel and you're just hoping, yeah.
And so I guess the point is that it's about playing wherever you can and not waiting for somebody to say, well, I play really great and nobody's discovered me yet. Well, because you're not out there doing it. And I think any chance to have somebody see you and connect with your music, whether it's a wedding or whether it's on a street corner or a subway or whatever. I mean, it's anything like that is an opportunity. If you really want it badly and you feel that that's what you have something to say, you don't think about what venue it is. You don't think about whether it's here or whether it's, at a wedding or whatever the case may be. You just do it for the love of it, and that's how you know whether it's something you should really be doing. Like Luke would say, I'll go in, I'll play my guitar anywhere. Right?
And I'm still like that to this day. And we had someone, we were doing a show somewhere in Tennessee, and a young guy walked up to us and he's like, I'm frustrated, I'm a musician, but no one has heard of me. And I said, well, where are you playing? Like, oh, I'm not playing anywhere. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? Are you recording? Are you writing? No, but I can sing. And you got to just say to someone like that, look, just find a way. Even if you don't play an instrument, find a friend who plays an instrument. Find a friend who can record you. Go to your church, and I'm sure you could play it at a noon hour type thing. Whatever it is, you could find some people to listen to you and share your music and grow as a musician. And you just have to keep growing, and then eventually, if you've really got something, something will happen.
And you wear many different hats, of course, in addition to being a musician, the touring stuff. You've, of course, written a book. It's a very good read, Simple Things, and in coordination with your release, Simple Things. And, of course, you host a long-time nationally syndicated radio show. Was the transition as well to radio hosting thing? Did that all kind of come as a natural next step for you, or in the beginning was there kind of a learning curve to it?
I try to keep everything as a complement to the core hub of what I do, which is playing the piano. And so everything, the book, the radio show, is a natural extension of the core of my connection with the audience. So the radio show has inspirational qualities. You always learn something. It's lighthearted. It plays a lot of really great music. It complements, I think, the way my stage show is. And the same with the book. The book is as a way of putting into the written word what I try to connect to in my instrumental songs. And so I feel like most of the choices I make complement really the core of what I do.
Luke's going to do an acoustic version of the song for you in just a second.
Yep.
Did want to ask you real quick, if there's a certain message that you want viewers and listeners to come away with one of your shows, when they attend one of your shows, they're having a good time,
Yeah.
what's the main thing that you want them kind of left with at the end of the night when they leave one of your shows?
I feel like it's a success if people have a chance to escape from whatever it is. If they had a bad day or they're having problems at home or whatever the case may be, you come into a theater and you can let your mind wander. Because a lot of times we don't stop. We just keep moving all the time. And so we don't have a chance to get inside ourselves and think a little bit about, what do I want to do, or what do I want to do tomorrow? Or how do, So I feel like that's an inspiration to be able to say, slow it down a little bit and just take time for yourself to be able to daydream and wander. And I mean, to me, that's a goal. Obviously, I want everybody to laugh and have a good time and be entertained and come away with a good feeling and an emotional connection, a spiritual and emotional connection that makes people feel like the music has some connection to whether it's comfort or healing or romance or a dinner party or however you want to use it. It has some sort of background effect on a mood that you might be in, or helps you to kind of be inspired.
One last thing, of course. Now, you often on the chart-wise got your start as quote new age, but you've often kind of disagreed with that to a degree because of how wide-ranging and how diverse your music is. A lot of times, as you well know, and especially depending on the collaborator, it can roll over into adult contemporary to smooth jazz, even with the Michael W. Smith and Russia Fools to the Christian charts once in a while. How would you kind of describe, if you could even, the diversity of how wide-ranging your style of music is?
Well, the common denominator of all those people is they're doing collaborations with me, which means as a songwriter, really, even though they sing in all those genres, they're singing my songs. So the kind of the common theme is my songwriting, so that it doesn't sound like, well, what do you have Lady Antebellum sing on the same album as Wayne Brady, or Jane Krakowski from TV on the same album with Herb Alpert, or that seems like that would be so odd. But the common thread is that they're singing my songs. So I just like a great singer to bring my songs to life, and I want it to happen in an organic, natural way, like the way it happened with me and Luke. The song is better because Luke sings it, because we wrote it together. So it has more of authenticity because it's being sung by the person who came up with it in the first place. And I think that connects with people, So I always want it to be for a reason, not just, oh, you know what I should do? I should, do something with Bruce Springsteen just for, even though I don't know him, and, it does. I always think it should come from a organic place.
Real, natural place.
Yeah, something that's because that's what songwriting is. You're creating art from nothing, so it can't be phony. It has to be,
I think
hey, I really like that. Oh yeah, I really like that too.
And I think when listeners sense that organic, that realness feel to it, I think it enables them to connect with the music even more.
I think so too.
Just sensing that organic and that honesty and that realness to it.
I think so too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, of course, is there for a songwriter? Now, of course, you wrote many different things as far as jingles, as far as just the vocal tracks that are oftentimes on your album, and, of course, the instrumental tracks. Is there kind of a uniqueness and a challenge to each different aspect of songwriting, or are they kind of, is there a common denominator in all of those different things that you write?
Well, I mean, as a pop songwriter in that category, which is what I think of myself as, you have to have a really good idea. Everything has to have a really good hook. When we were writing, I remember this from that day of Good Morning Beautiful. It was good, but it was like not going anywhere. And I said, it has to lead somewhere. Everything has to lead to a big chorus. It doesn't have to be a big chorus, but it has to have a payoff.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with the jingle writing and things like that. Same with the solo piano music. So there has to be something that sounds like you've heard it before, but you haven't, so that it makes you feel comfortable. It's not just everything new information all the time. It's too hard to take it in. So a lot of people say that about my songs and Luke's songs. Like, it sounds like I've heard that before,
Yeah, and I think that it's something will sound familiar if it has a natural flow to it.
Right,
and
right.
like what Jim was just saying about having this, the fact that the singer is the one who sings it, all the elements that fall into place, and Jim and I just really kind of having good writing chemistry and just rolling with the song. As soon as we came up with that hook, where all of a sudden the song kind of went up to the chorus, and it had more of a dynamic, had more of an arc. We knew we were onto something, and as soon as I remember playing it for my wife really nervously, because you always have that person that can give you a really straight answer, and I was so excited about the song I'd written with Jim, and right away she's like humming along, and she used to be a dancer. She starts kind of dancing as I'm playing the guitar, and it was just a beautiful moment where I realized it's like, no, the song's gonna connect with people. I can just sense it, and you'll see when we play concerts. It's so easy to have people. I think they're biting their tongue when they're not singing along with it, which is just wonderful when you're on stage singing it for people.
So we should do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I don't know if we have do we have a mic stand anywhere close by that we can grab?
Yeah.
First of all, do you have now among your favorites, of course, it's like picking a favorite kid, all that. But of course, you've had By Heart, Angel Eyes, If You Believe, Hero's Dream, on and on and on. Is there, when you're out here performing tour dates and stuff, is there a particular favorite that you particularly enjoy performing live nowadays?
Lately, I've been enjoying The Gift and Simple Things the most. Lately, it changes from time to time, but those are the ones I like. I think the vocal that I like the most, and then there's one called Timeless that I like playing. It's a solo piano piece, and I like playing Angel Eyes, and so handful of things, I guess.
All right, so we're set up. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, Luke McMaster is going to perform the latest hit, Good Morning Beautiful. I think we're doing the Christmas version or doing the regular one. Which one do you want to do?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. You're going to be able to have Jim playing on it too, no?
Yeah, maybe.
Tune in for that when we come back with more Christian Music Spotlight. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this. Stick
Or a
around.
solo.
Stay tuned next for an all-new Christmas week edition of Rehoboth Ministries at the top of the hour. Find us online at blip.tv/Rehoboth Ministries or friend us on Facebook at Rehoboth Ministries TV.
Fa la la la, fa la la la, fa la la la, fa la la la. I hear the church bells ringing in the air, children singing down in the square. We're gonna be late, but I don't really care, 'cause the only thing that matters is you, smiling you, perfect you. Merry Christmas, beautiful. The lights are on the tree. Merry Christmas, beautiful. All I want this year is you right here with me. Merry Christmas, beautiful. Fa la la la, fa la la la. Fa la la la, fa la la la. It's such a wonderful time of the year, sipping eggnog, feeling good cheer. But the best part is having you here, 'cause the only thing that matters is you, smiling you, perfect you. Merry Christmas, beautiful. The lights are on the tree. Merry Christmas, beautiful. All I want this year is you right here with me. Merry Christmas, beautiful. This feeling like I'm dreaming. It's a dream come true when I wake up with you. Fa la la la, fa la la la. When I wake up with you. Fa la la la, fa la la la. Later on we can walk in the cold. You start to shiver, I'll hold you close. Whether sunshine or whether the snow, I can weather any weather with you. Smiling you, perfect you. Good morning, beautiful. I know it's gonna be a Merry Christmas, beautiful. And all I want this year is you right here with me. Merry Christmas, beautiful. Fa la la la, fa la la la. Merry Christmas, beautiful. Fa la la la, fa la la la. Merry Christmas, beautiful.
Luke McMaster, everybody, performing the song Merry Christmas, Beautiful. Christmas spin on the Good Morning Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to
Thanks so
bless
much.
our audience.
It was a
and to,
pleasure, yeah.
to take part in our show and our special holiday edition. So thank you, of course, for blessing us with your talents and performing the song. And
Well, anytime. It was an honor. Thank you.
of course, we as a TV program and as an extension of the ministry definitely just pray for continued success for you guys and many blessings as you continue to spread joy to the world this holiday season across the country on your many tour dates. So thank you guys for everything you do in all levels
Thank you.
of music.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was really fun, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it. That is our edition of Christian Music Spotlight, our holiday edition. Thanks so much for joining us. So we definitely hope you and your family get to celebrate the reason for the season, this special holiday season. We thank you so much for watching this Christmas edition of Christian Music Spotlight here from the historic Elsinore Theatre here in Salem, Oregon. Special thanks to Claire and to Jim and to Luke, our guest here, for joining us here on the program. Courtesy of Claire and the folks at Jim Brickman and JimBrickman.com, we're going to leave you now with a special Christmas music video that Jim performed, a take on the classic Joy to the World. We hope you enjoy this little music video, and thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll tune in next time for more stories and testimonies behind the songs here on Christian Music Spotlight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Neal from the historic Elsinore Theatre in Salem, Oregon. Thanks for joining us. Take good care. God bless. Merry Christmas to all of you from our family to yours. God bless.
watching as you softly sleep. What I'd give if I could keep just this moment, if only time stood still. But the colors fade away, and the years will make us gray.
But baby, in my eyes, you'll still be beautiful. And all I want is to hold you forever. And all I need is you more every day. You save my heart from being broken apart. You gave your love away,
And I'm thankful every day for the gift.
and all I want is to hold you forever. And all I need is you more every day. You save my heart from being broken apart. You gave your love away.
I can't find the words to say.
I am thankful every day
For the gift.
Thanks for watching our special Christmas edition of Christian Music Spotlight with our very special guests, Jim Brickman and Luke McMaster. Stay tuned. In 45 seconds at the top of the hour, we have an all-new Rehoboth Ministries Christmas Week edition next. Don't go away.